Hey you all, and good morning. A very restful night's sleep here in Great Falls, Montana at the O'Hare Inn, home of the Sip and Dip Lounge. Yeah, last night got to hang out in the Sip and Dip Lounge, enjoy the mermaid. It was just really amazing place here. A little bit of a roadside time capsule. But now, the long, lonesome road does await. I've got to make it to North Dakota today. The State Fair of North Dakota, held in Minot, North Dakota. And so probably about 8 hours away from here, plus a time change, which adds another hour. So we've got some serious driving to do today. So, without further ado, let's hit that long, lonesome road. So did get a couple t-shirts to add to the collection to celebrate my day full of mermaids yesterday in Wallace, Idaho. We saw the mummified mermaid at the North Idaho Trading Company. So I got the souvenir t-shirt from that. I saw the mummified mermaid. And then of course, here in Montana, last night we hung out in the Sip and Dip Lounge, and we saw mermaids swimming while we were dining and enjoying a beverage. So yeah, I think some of the best mermaids. You wouldn't necessarily think Idaho and Montana would be good mermaid states, but I almost think they're the best place to see mermaids. So we got to get on the road. We got to get to North Dakota, and I'm gonna, even though I'm in Montana, okay, I want to see the Montana State Fair and the North Dakota State Fair. That's part of my mission for this trip. However, things got a little complicated. So I'm actually having to go to, even though I'm in Montana, I'm gonna have to go into North Dakota and go to the North Dakota State Fair first, because the Montana State Fair starts 2 days before the North Dakota State Fair ends. Meaning, if I went to the Montana State Fair and then drove, so I had 1 day to spend at the Montana State Fair. If I did that, drove the next day, the North Dakota Fair would be over. I'm missing it by 1 day. So my solution is to drive to North Dakota, drive all 7-8 hours North Dakota right now. Tomorrow we will do the North Dakota State Fair, and then I'll have to turn my car back around and head back to Montana for the Montana State Fair. And then once I've conquered the Montana State Fair, once I've added these 2 state fairs to my collection, then and only then can I head back east. So strap in. This is there's gonna be a lot of driving. This is gonna be an intense couple days as we get these 2 Western state fairs completed. But before we leave town, before we head out of Great Falls, I wanted to come down here to the Missouri River. Kind of reminds me of my Mississippi River road trip. Actually saw the area where the Missouri River connects to the Mississippi all the way down in Illinois. But there's something here along the riverside that I wanted to
wanted to see before I left town. This is one of the most spectacular creatures I have ever laid my eyes upon. Look at this. This is called the rainbow buffalo because it is half rainbow trout and half buffalo, a perfect mixture of the two. You can see it's covered in scales. It's got that rainbow trout coloration. It's got fins, but also buffalo feet. Wow, yeah, a chimera of sorts, but a wonderful tribute to Great Falls. You got the river right over there where a rainbow trout would reside. You know, here in Montana is where the buffalo roam. Wow, amazing. Yes, on this day here in Great Falls, Montana, my life is forever changed now that I have met the rain buffalo. So give me a home where the rainbow buffalo roam and the skies are not cloudy all day. Now stopped off here in Fort Benton, Montana, and we do have a lot of road to cover still, but you know, I can't help myself. Always have to stop when I see a museum. This is the Montana Agricultural Museum. I guess it is alternatively known as the Museum of the Northern Great Plains. They have the history of women, local women here. This is Margaret Lynn Turner, served in World War II. And this is Nottawista, daughter of the chief of the Blackfoot tribe. And apparently she became a vocal supporter of the Blackfoot people. And here we have different generations of women here. This is from 1908 to 1929. This is the grandmother here. And, oh my, look at this. I feel like I haven't seen one in a while. There is a Cupie. And here is the mother, 1932 to 1950. And the daughter here, 1952 to 1980. This over here talks about the Great Land Scam of 1908 to 1921. Apparently, people were encouraged to come out and buy land in Montana. Promises of prosperity were made, but in the end, when they got out here, it was endless flat land with very little that could be done with it. And after freezing winters and plague, people decided that Montana was not for them, and apparently at least 100,000 people fled after initially buying land in Montana. Oh, look at this. The ultimate showdown. Ground squirrel versus rattlesnake. There's one thing, you know, any museum out here in this part of the country is going to have lots and lots of taxidermy. Now, I am a fan of taxidermy, but I don't really like this type of taxidermy where the animals are just preserved and left to look like roadkill. Talks about the plagues that they faced out here. Grasshoppers, crickets, and worms. That sounds biblical there. And apparently here's one solution they tried to come up with to keep insects away was herds of turkeys.
They said they would put children in charge of herding turkeys, and that they would hopefully eat the insects and help protect the crops. And then you could always eat the turkeys. Oh yeah, here's turkey herding items: the turkey bell and hook. There, I guess a bell so you can hear the turkey coming, and a hook to kind of guide, like a shepherd's crook, to guide the turkeys. Oh yeah, look at the cricket there. Oh, look at this. Jiminy says, not all of us crickets are bad. Yeah, not Jiminy. He would never eat your crops. Talks about DDT here. This very dangerous chemical originally used to kill mosquitoes, but it is extremely toxic, and apparently it passes on through different animals in the food chain. So like kills insects, but the insects are eaten by fish. Birds eat the fish. Humans eat the birds. So by poisoning mosquitoes, we're actually ended up poisoning ourselves. You know, this poison is so deadly that Jake the Snake Roberts named his finishing move after it. Here is a weather station. It says this was used for 50 years to report weather. It's this elevated box here, and they'd have different equipment in there that could gauge the weather. Wrenches of all types. I do love the colors of the wrenches. It's a really cool mosaic. This is a water boy. It's the trailer used to transport clean drinking water. Oh, I like this. This mosaic of tractor seats as well. A lot of different farming implements in here. You can take a peek in the root cellar here. Oh, there's a little girl there storing stuff in the root cellar because it keeps things cool because it's underground. Oh, look at that. We got potato planter there. Looks like he's peeling some potatoes there in his bucket. It's a cowboy. Oh, look at his chaps. He got some really fuzzy chaps. I wonder what kind of fur that is used to make those chaps. Look at this figure over here. This is interesting. What is he supposed to be doing? It literally looks like he's just like repairing the museum. Is he just here to fix up the museum? The combination of mannequins they use here. They have some of these that are very pristine, modern mannequins, and then some of them look like they're made of paper mache. Some classic cars here at the gas station. You can see the visible pump there. Used to be back in the day, the gasoline was actually in the top, and as you got gas, you could watch it lower. Pretty crazy looking old thresher here. So World War II exhibit here, and then they have a jukebox playing some music from World War II era of a semi right here. It actually says there is a 1920s village out back. All right, here we are in the 1920s village back here. Okay, yeah, there is a whole village back here behind the museum. Oh, look at this teeny tiny little gas station we have back here. Yeah, those visible pumps out front. Take a peek in the window. Oh yeah. I love on the counter there they have the old travel maps they give the tourists.
There's like homes back here. These preserved homes. Can we go in? Oh. Step right in. There's a TV. I feel like, oh gosh. Oh, my heart skipped a beat when I looked out here and saw this woman here staring back at me. Oh my goodness. Oh, my heart still hurts. Seriously. Vehicles of our time here in this big red barn. Oh, there's wagons and surreys. What is the difference between a wagon and a surrey? Leave a comment in the comment section. These are horse-drawn sleighs like they sang about in the classic tune Jingle Bells. Oh, look at that. It's got the whip on there to whip your horse. In the back here, we have some horse-drawn hearses. God, there's another house. This is all very interesting. Oh, God. Got me again. I swear. I was just noticing, yeah, nothing's roped off. You're just walking here, just like walking in a living room. And then, blah! This woman scared the crap out of me. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal, but you're looming silently in a room. It can be terrifying. And they do have a pennant on the wall from the 1934 Century of Progress in Chicago. One of the World's Fair type events. I don't know if we can go in all these buildings. Let's go check the door here at the general store. Okay, this one's locked. So not all of them are open for public viewing. Yeah, it looks like some of these we just have to peek in the windows. So peeking in the window of the barber shop here. Looks like this guy waiting to get his hair cut, although the barber is nowhere to be seen. I do like the antelope there hanging in the barber shop. There's a drugstore here, which I think we may actually be able to go inside of this one. Oh yeah, look at this. All the old pharmaceutical bottles in here. Get a little bit of licorice. Bedbug poison. I like how they store the bedbug poison right next to the licorice. Different oils here. Oil cinnamon, oil coriander, oil spike, oil nutmeg, oil peppermint, oil nerol synth, oil sperm? What's that? What do you use that for in a pharmacy? What? Different boxes of medicine there. I guess they got tobacco products over there. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You better let him out. And then down here, a wide variety of bedpans. And you know what they say, you can't beat City Hall. The people inside me are asking me to... I saw her. I was prepared for her. She didn't startle me too much. She's the secretary here at City Hall. Oh, what's this? They have a bank vault back here. It says the Dewdrop Inn over. I think this is a vault. Oh no, this is not. This is not. A bank vault? This is a jail cell. Okay. I guess they keep the jail here in the back of City Hall. Yeah, look at this. Pretty rough. Step here into the wonderful accommodations they would give their prisoners. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. This is a padded room. So if someone is, trying to harm themselves or throwing themselves against the wall, you toss them into the padded room here. Wow. Yeah, you always hear, the phrase, padded room. I think this is my first time in an actual padded room. The padding's become a little dry over the years, so I wouldn't recommend trying to launch yourself into this. But yeah, I'm sitting in here, and I'm just thinking about all the sadness and misery and stress and anxiety that occurred in this room here. Oh my goodness! Wow! When I told you about the EM rule, you will always find some strange or fascinating treasure in any museum you stop at. Wow. And I guess if the padded room doesn't calm you down, maybe one of these clubs will. Head into the bank here and see if we get jump scared, see if anyone's waiting for us in here. I'm treating this place. Yes. It almost got me, even though I was talking about it. I don't know why I'm treating this historic village like it's a haunted house. But here is a banker. My grandmother worked in a bank, and that looks just a little bit like my grandma. Holiness Church here. Oh, and yes. You can see the preacher up there preaching to a empty congregation. We see the preacher there at his pulpit. And over here is the organist ready to play us a tune. It's a dressmaking shop here across the way. Oh gosh, there's a severed head there on the counter. Oh, yeah. What is this building here? Oh, the schoolhouse, of course. See the desks here. Although it looks like these two children have been made to stay after school. Let's see what they've been reading about. The biography of a grizzly. I want to read an autobiography of a grizzly. Also, reading about Indian legends there, and fun for Tom and Jip. There is the Montana state flag up there. Got a picture of Woodrow Wilson there, hanging on the walls of the schoolhouse. And I don't know the situation here. It feels like this is a tense situation. You got the teacher here with this little girl. This boy's standing over here, looking awfully guilty. What has occurred here? What is happening? We got a wood cabin with an elk skull over the door. What sort of things happen in this cabin? Okay, another lady. I notice there's no notice that there is only female characters. The only adult I saw was the preacher. Maybe all the men are off to war. The women left home here to take care of their children. And look at this wagon here. You peek in the back. Seems like this would be a very warm place to stay with this tin roof. It's very hot today. It's been very hot the past couple weeks, but I can't imagine sleeping in this wagon here with being encased in that tin. And here are some women from the 1920s. There definitely does seem to be a heavy emphasis on the 1920s in this museum. We have the 20s parlor here. Little girl here with her dollhouse. Oh man, look at all the toys on the stairs there. That is a massive tripping hazard. Corner here full of wedding dresses. A giant steer head right there. And it does talk here about 1886 being an important turning point in Montana history. It says that in 1886, the buffalo had been completely removed. Overharvesting of the buffalo had resulted in no more buffalo. It says that it was a massive winter that killed all the open range cattle, and then barbed wire was brought to the area, leading to enclosed farms instead of the open range farming. And in here we have a very important taxidermy display. These are the Hornaday buffalo. They were taxidermied by William Hornaday, worked for the Smithsonian Institute. And in 1886, the belief was that buffalo were completely on their way out. They were going extinct. And he preserved these buffalo here in taxidermy because none existed in the national collection. And he thought it was his last chance to taxidermy buffalo to preserve them so people in further generations could see them. It was pretty close to being buffalo or bison being like the dinosaur, where there was something that we don't have any remains of, that we would just have to see in books and whatnot. But he preserved these in hopes that he could show buffalo to the generations of children that would live in the future and will never have seen a buffalo. But fortunately, the happy ending is buffalo did not go extinct and have recovered quite significantly. But this was the buffalo display at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. And there's a bit of a legend. I did some research. I can't verify that it is accurate because there's actually disputed claims. But there is some who do believe that this buffalo here, the largest buffalo, was the model for the buffalo on the back of the nickel. The American nickel, the 5-cent piece, used to have a buffalo on the back. And it was said that because it was in Washington, D.C., that people from the Treasury Department would come and view the buffalo as reference to use in their artwork. And some say that it was this buffalo that made it to the nickel. Now, there's different people take credit for the buffalo nickel design, what I looked up. And so it's kind of impossible to say. But man, if that is true, that is crazy. You usually have to be like president or something to be on a nickel. To think that a individual buffalo was on the nickel is absolutely crazy. But yeah, let's just take a look at this famous buffalo display here. Got buffalo of different sizes and ages. The buffalo calf there. Yeah, so the young buffalo here. Yeah, great, just a great piece of work, a great piece of taxidermy art here. The Hornaday buffaloes. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does he look like the buffalo on the buffalo nickel? Leave a comment in the comment section. This is also an interesting way to display taxidermy. We got the elk head there, and it still has the hide attached to the head. That's very, very unusual. Oh, look at this. I don't know why this amuses me, but just like this goat flattened up against the wall. All right, a little bit of a time crunch here. Gotta get to North Dakota, and that museum was way bigger than I thought it would be. And but you know, I loved it. Like if I can spend every day inside a museum full of mannequins, every day would be a happy day. But I paid the admission here. I got this sticker. This actually gets me into another museum on the other side of town. And as much of a hurry as I am in, and as much as we are running on a time crunch here, I got it here to the EM roll. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there are big yellow buffalo tracks on the street here. And the buffalo tracks led us right here. Came back over here to the easy flowing Missouri River as it heads eastwards, where it will eventually meet up with the mighty Mississippi. And that brings us to the Museum of the Upper Missouri. You can see that steamboat there. That brings back some memories of the Mississippi River road trip. Talks about the Whoop Up Trail, where people of Montana would trade whiskey with the Canadians, and that lasted until the Mounties showed up. Here's the FY Bachelor steamboat on the Missouri River. Peek into this window here. Oh, looks like the steamboat's coming in. This guy here is calling out, yelling, "There's a steamship here." Talks about the legend of Shep, the sheepdog here, who was actually featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's actually a really sad story. It says that his owner died, and they put the body on a train, and then for years, Shep would come and meet every train, hoping that his master would get off. Oh, that really makes me sad. We have Calf Shirt's revenge here. There's Calf Shirt, who is, I guess, firing arrows there, obtaining his revenge by shooting these two guys in the back. Here's an exhibit on the hangings that took place in Fort Benton. It says the first hanging was in 1868, and the final was in 1895. Talks about some of the outlaws that came through the area, and this headstone here for Langford Peel says down here, this is a terrifying epitaph. "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." Yikes. Sounds like he's gonna be coming back from the dead. Over here, have a group of Native Americans taking down a buffalo. You can see what an epic scene there. The buffalo's goring one of the men, trampling another, while the other three jam spears into him. This is William Wesley Van Orsdell, known as Brother Van, a Methodist preacher that came here to the area. And here you can actually see him preaching inside of a saloon. You can see all the gamblers and barflies all listening to him preach. And if I've learned one thing about these Old West towns, they loved drinking, shooting, and gambling. There are some more gambling items. And over here next to the Museum of the Upper Missouri, we have this Fort Benton. This is the fort that the town of Fort Benton is named after. And our orange sticker does grant us access to the fort. Oh, looks like we enter the fort over here. So the Fort Benton is not a military fort. It is a fur trading outpost. This was founded in the 1840s, and people would come and trade animal furs for other items here. You can see the different items they would have that they could trade. You get some beads there, different cloth, some hats. I do love that bear skin rug there. And the docent was just telling me, this is really interesting. I did not know this. So apparently one of the reasons that buffalo pelts were so valuable was because it was the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. And apparently these belts that they would use on machines and factories were actually made from buffalo hide. So that really sped up the killing and trading of the buffalo. This is an authentic cabin that was preserved by bringing it into the fort. You can see the bobcat there on the roof. And the frontiersman there. Look at that, his beard is frozen. And this bear is a man-killing bear. This bear killed a man in the 1950s known as William Kenneth Scott. They were out elk hunting, and the bear attacked him and severely injured him. Did not kill him immediately. They brought him back to the camp, and then while he was at camp and he was very, very badly hurt and bleeding, the bear actually showed back up. And I guess, I don't know, the bear came to finish him off, I guess. But someone in the hunting party shot him with this rifle here, and William Kenneth Scott apparently would die from his injuries, and the bear died the same day. Wow, that's a crazy story, and that is a very scary bear. Like, just looking at this bear, I would believe that he would stalk and kill someone. There's a model of the fort we are currently in. They call this the birthplace of Montana. You know, the fort started out as a major fur trading outpost, and I guess that led to the growing of the state of Montana. You can see these items that were found on the site here. Different knives and blades, beads, a clamshell there, different things that would be traded. There's an ivory domino. Yeah, so people lived here and traded here. There is an exhibit here on the indigenous people that lived in the area. I have never seen anything like this before. I never heard of this. This is an eagle catcher. And so the indigenous people, you know, they valued the eagle's feathers. They used them in their dress. And so they would actually set a trap. They would leave a rabbit there that the eagle would want to eat. The eagle would come down to eat the rabbit. But there is actually a hole dug here with a person in it. I don't know if you can see. There is a person down there under these pine needles. So they would reach up and grab the eagle by its legs, pull it into the hole, and crush it. That is wow. That is wow. That is. Can you imagine killing an eagle with your bare hands? That doesn't even seem possible. That is a dangerous way to collect eagle feathers. The blacksmith shop in here. So yeah, it was like a whole city or community living in this fort. This is the blockhouse down here. As we push on here, I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. You can see people hanging in the rafters there. Now, apparently there'd be adobe houses within the fort that the employees of the fur company would sleep in, and there is actually some remnants there of the adobe. This is the Bushway's quarter. The Bushway was the person in charge of the fort. And of course they use buffalo in all of their decorating. This old church here looks like a haunted house. Before we left Fort Benton, I wanted to stop and pay my respects to one of Fort Benton's most beloved citizens, Shep, the forever loyal dog. He's actually buried here on a hill above the railroad station where he waited for his master. Talks a little bit about Shep here. Says at the railroad station below, Shep spent his last years, showed up in 1936 when he saw his master's casket being put on the train, and he stayed there at the train station, coming to every train waiting for his owner until 1942. So 6 years Shep was there. Of course, all people in the town loved Shep, and he became kind of a town mascot. It said first he didn't want to accept food or water from the employees, but eventually he learned to accept the other people, and he would take food from the dining cars. So came up here on top of the hill, and I'm going to walk this trail out to Shep's grave. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this was going to be a very long and arduous walk. Got to walk all the way to the end of the path there. Oh my. It is currently 103 degrees outside. I probably should turn back. I probably shouldn't be walking out in this heat on this ridge, but you know, I will always regret it if I don't go see the final resting place of Shep, the forever loyal dog. All right, we're kind of almost there. I can see the marker as we get to the end of the ridge here. And here he is, continuing his vigil on the mountaintop. We have Shep, the loyal sheepdog. Now, one of the saddest parts of the story is that after waiting at the train station for 6 years, he was actually killed by a train, run over by a train. So a sad but loyal life of Shep the dog, but I think he was inspiring. His loyalty was inspiring to all the inhabitants of Fort Benton and all the people that got off the train in Fort Benton. You see his gravestone there. People have left rocks, flowers, and markers there in appreciation of Shep, the loyal sheepdog. You can see they actually have the word Shep in large letters overlooking Fort Benton. So yeah, almost anywhere in town you can look up and see the word Shep, reminding you of his loyalty. When you look down there, you can see the railroad track. I don't think the train station is there anymore, but it would have been down there, the train station where Shep spent his life waiting in vain for his for his owner to show back up. And now we just got to make it all the way back to the car. I think with animals like Shep, we see, kind of ourselves in it. We see those human traits. We can see that animals do have a lot of the same traits that we do, and sometimes we see traits that we lack inside animals. We can understand the sadness that Shep felt and the loyalty of just wanting nothing more than his owner to show back up. Oh, there's the car. We've survived. So yeah, back on the long, lonesome road. Got about a little less than 7 hours till we meet our destination in North Dakota for the evening. But there's going to be a lot of big sky country we'll be driving through until then. Definitely spent a little more time in Fort Benton than I had planned. I just saw that they had a museum. I figured I'd stop, check out the museum. I always love the local museums. And this was no exception. I actually loved the museums. And then I had the other two museums included with the ticket. So hard to me to pass up a museum, especially when I've already paid for. So I just had to check them out. I couldn't pass it by, and I'm glad I did. That's one of the beauties of traveling the open road. You might find a little city, a little town that you didn't know anything about, and then you stop there, you learn all these things. Definitely learned a lot of things today that I did not know before. The eagle trap, learned that the Native Americans would hide in the ground to kill eagles with their hands. That was something new. I learned about the history of Montana. About this is a state I've been through Montana before, but as far as like really absorbing what it is, what Montana means. I feel like today kind of got a more grasp on Montana and what the state is all about. And so yeah, it's just always kind of a part of the game, try to figure out how to travel, how to make time. I'm always wanting to stop. I love stopping. I love stopping and seeing things. But sometimes I do have to cut myself off because simply there is only limited amount of time to drive, to travel. And a lot of these days are pretty crazy. I'll be filming 7 hours, 6, 7, 8 hours, then get in my car, drive another 4 or 5 hours. Some days I'm driving as much as 8 or 9 hours and maybe trying to find a few things to film while I'm driving. I could take a day off. But I really like showing you guys along the way. And I fear if I'm like, I'm not going to film today, I'm just going to drive, I feel like I'm going to pass up something amazing that I wanted to show you guys, and I'll always regret it until the next time I come back to the area. So yeah, I'm pushing myself. This state fair thing is a goal I've made for myself, and it's something I really wanted to accomplish. And I'm like, the only way to accomplish things is to just get out there and do them, just make it happen. And I've been making it happen with the state fair. It's been a few years since this mission begun. We're at 24 state fairs now. I'm going to add since I was driving out to California, I figured I'd try to hit some on the way back. I saw that Montana, North Dakota were having their state fair, so I've got it all figured out in my head. I'm going to go to the North Dakota State Fair tomorrow, then turn around, drive back to Montana to the Montana State Fair. Just all trying to scribble this all down on paper, and it all seems like a great idea when I write it down, but in the end, sometimes I'm like, man, I really didn't give myself a minute of free time here. But that's just part of the process. And then, of course, you schedule myself these tight schedules, and then I see cool stuff that I want to stop and see, which adds more time on. So I'm always showing up at the hotel late, always got to edit. It usually takes an hour or two to edit. By the time I get done editing, it's usually 1:32 in the morning. Then I got to get to sleep, try to wake up at a decent time so I can get rolling again. So these are the challenges and realities of life on the open road. Stopped off here in Malta, Montana. You can see on that silo it says break the habit, and it's got pool balls on there. It says you use, you lose. I guess breaking the habit of playing too much pool. Now I know I said that I was going to try not to stop anymore on this trip, but of course we have the EM rule, the Great Plains Dinosaur Museum. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, if you're talking about the time that I have to spend. Fortunately, if I'm supposed to get to my hotel at any reasonable time, it is closed. But fortunately, this is why I pulled over here in Malta. They have these wonderful dinosaurs here outside of the museum. Check this guy out here. I love the bright, wonderful colors on the dinosaurs here. According to this sign, this is Stomper the sauropod. So yeah, Stomper definitely caught my eye when I was heading through the little town of Malta, Montana. Oh, look at this. He's got like glass eyes that look realistic. They also have a Triceratops over here, although I don't know his name. There's no sign saying what his name is, but again, I do love the colors here. It really caught my eye as I was driving by. And finally, we have Spike the Stegosaurus. Okay, just a brief dino stop. We gotta get back on the road. Stopped off here in Saco, Montana, because I saw this peering at me from the road. Saw some dinosaurs up the road a little bit. And here we have this giant, looks like almost like an Asian-style dragon. And it's got like these bristles. Oh yeah, it's like wire there for his beard. Interesting. Oh, look at this mural over here. Kill the urge before it kills you. Okay, and you can see in the skeleton there's syringes and pills. It makes its point. You're at the local McDonald's in Glasgow, Montana. And of course, you know what I said earlier, you have to stop for dinosaurs. I don't know why this dinosaur is here in front of the McDonald's, but again, I do like his colors. That blue and white is pretty snazzy. Looks like he's a T-Rex there with his little arms. Yeah, just a random blue and white McDonald's T-Rex. Stopped off here at the Horseshoe Bar. I don't know what town I'm in. I don't even know if this is a town. This is a bar here along the road. But I saw something that made me do a U-turn over here. It's what appears to be a giant buffalo skull. Can you guys imagine the size of the buffalo that this skull was attached to? Oh my goodness. You see, just whoop, I fell in a prairie dog hole. Yeah, watch your feet. Almost twisted my ankle there in that hole. But anyways, the giant buffalo skull. Okay, that's metal. Oh, look at this over here. On the other side is different. So yeah, it's like the sculpture. It's like a fractured buffalo skull. See, this side actually has the jawbone and the teeth right there. Check out this roundabout here. So we're going around. There's more giant buffalo skulls in the roundabout. As I drive through North Dakota at night, there's all these oil wells and flaming torches. We finally made it. We have officially landed here in Tioga, North Dakota. Tomorrow's a big day. We're going to be headed over to the North Dakota State Fair, and this will be State Fair number 25. We will be halfway there, and very excited for that. Man, it has been a long day of driving. Like I said, I spent a little more time in Fort Benton, Montana than I thought I would. It was a charming town, had some great museums, and then just driving. Sometimes, tried to drive straight here, but sometimes you see things alongside of the road that you just have to stop for. So it is about 11:30 at night. I've got to get this video edited. There's a desk right there I'm going to do my editing at. And then tomorrow we will get up and we will head to the fair. Thank you so much for coming along on this long journey, on this long, lonesome road. I appreciate everyone out there that watches these videos. I appreciate special appreciation to those that follow every day here on the channel. It does mean a lot. Those of you that take the time to watch every single video, it means the world to me. I know they can be long, and I know sometimes maybe they're not very entertaining. Maybe they're stupid, but I appreciate everyone who generously grants me that time. If you do like the videos, though, please subscribe. I travel around the country. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun, random stuff. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'm sorry. I'm getting lost in my own words here. Let's just say, for now, we're going to put this in the bag. Thank you, and good night.